need one more thing to worry about when you wake up from your nice, cozy bed and automatically start thinking about all the things you need to do today. What's even worse is when you know you have to wear something nice because let's say you have an interview later for an internship you really want. And trust me, as someone who's had an internship for a local Omaha CPA and now who works as an intern for the Department of Defense, all before the age of 20, looking good on paper is only half the battle. And as young adults venturing into the world of careers, it is imperative that you know how greatly your future depends all on a first impression. So what does it mean then to dress for success and how do we accomplish it? Well, from my experience, there are a few tips and tricks that will get you looking good on more than just paper. While your resume may get you through the door, possessing a few staple clothing items in your wardrobe and carrying yourself with confidence will keep you from being sent out the revolving door. Before I talk about the specifics of what women should wear into interviews, there are a few things that everyone must consider when dressing for success. I'd like to start with what I call the fit, flatter, and crinkle check. Firstly, do your clothes fit you properly? It's an excellent question to start with. Having clothes that are too big or too small does not send a message of seriousness or credibility. Rather, they send a message of being unorganized and unprofessional. This applies also to how well or not your clothes flatter you. Clothing should be aesthetically pleasing, meaning in order for your clothes to be flattering, they should complement your body type, your body shape, and your skin tone. Lastly, to complete the fit, flatter, and crinkle check, your clothing must pass the crinkle test. That is, are they wrinkled and in need of being ironed? If so, then you will either need to take them to the dry cleaners to be properly pressed or iron them yourself. On that note, let's talk about caring for your hair before an interview. Hopefully it goes without saying that you should shower and wash your hair and body before interacting with people who possibly could be crucial deciding factors in regards to your future. Make sure you brush or comb your hair, and if you're going to style it, make sure that it is a style that you have practiced beforehand in order to avoid any unwanted mishaps. You also want to give yourself ample time to do your hair just in case a mishap does arise. Another thing to keep in mind is getting haircuts before an interview. There is nothing wrong with getting a trim and cleanup because it helps you look polished and well put together. But getting a haircut that is very drastic from your current cut is not always good. You should be focusing on your conversation with the person interviewing you rather than your decision to get a Jennifer Aniston long bob from the $9.99 a cut barber down the road. Another thing for everyone to consider is how they smell. Like I said before, hopefully you should know to shower before interacting with someone, but you also need to be aware of the perfume you choose to use. There is nothing wrong with lightly spraying yourself with a gentle, fresh scent, but it is a bit offensive to the nostrils when you smell as if you bathe in your scent of choice. Now that we have covered all the basics, let's get into some more specifics. Obviously, as women, we have to put more thought into what we wear, which causes a bunch of headaches when trying to find the right outfit. To make life easier, here's a list of clothing that every woman should have in her closet for the professional working world. A black skirt, a blazer, dress pants, a day dress, a white button down, nude or black flats. I did not say that correctly. Black heels or flats, or nude heels or flats. Any combination of these items will keep you looking well put together and professional. And because black and white are practically blank canvases, you can add your own personal touches with pops of colors from your accessories, such as fashion scarves and jewelry. Makeup can be considered an accessory as well. We put makeup on to highlight and add to our already existing facial beauty. That being said, keep in mind the fit and flatter rule that I talked about earlier. It does not make sense to wear too much makeup that you look like a clown or wearing makeup exactly how your grandmother wears it. This is where the rule of flattery comes into play because, as mentioned earlier, you want to wear makeup that further highlights your natural beauty and complements your skin tone. So, for example, if you have blue or brown eyes, try using a dark brown or navy blue eyeliner to make your eyes really pop. For initial interviews, it is often better to stick with softer, more natural-looking shades of eyeshadows, lipstick, and blushes. Softer pinks or neutral, earthy tones work well for eyelids and lips. The shade of blush you choose to use is more dependent on yourself. That being said, let's have a little review of some do's and don'ts when dressing for an interview. As you can see from these two women, one is clearly dressed for an interview and the other is not. The woman on the right is dressed in a very neutral and appropriate length dress, while the woman on the left is wearing booty shorts and she is obviously not well put together. And, yeah. Alright, so remember, if you look good, then you feel good. And confidence is another key item to always be wearing. Confidence is something that you should never leave the house without. Your confidence can either make or break you. Not everyone has the charisma and charm of George Clooney, so we're left to improvise a little. A lot of building one's self-confidence stems from self-affirmation. That is, reminding yourself of all your wonderful qualities and what makes you a great candidate. For example, it may sound goofy, but facing yourself in a mirror and repeating your strong qualities out loud will help boost your confidence. So will mentally preparing yourself by doing research about the company you're interviewing with. This will help you feel knowledgeable and therefore prepared before walking into a room. Practicing your interview skills can be useful as well. Have a parent, friend, or teacher ask you questions that an interviewer might potentially ask you. Have them critique your answers so that you can learn and be more prepared, because you want to avoid using words such as yeah, and like. Body language is another important ingredient of self-confidence. Sitting tall or standing tall as if a string is connected to your head and being pulled straight shows you are confident. People will look at you with respect and pay more attention to what you say. Always hold eye contact as well, because it shows you are engaged in the conversation and conveys certainty. However, do not stare and make the other person feel uncomfortable. So remember, I could be a grade A genius on paper and look like a total slob in person and not get the job because of how I look, even though my resume shows that I am clearly qualified. Our world is based on first impressions, and we must dress to impress. Taylor Momsen, the actress behind the fashion-forward and extremely driven character of Jenny Humphrey on Gossip Girl, sums it up perfectly. Your individual style is your impression to the world. You can add your own flair and style to staple pieces of clothing that I talked about earlier, as long as you walk out of the house looking clean, well put together, and confident. That being said, go out into the world, taking with what I have told you today, and dress for the dream job you've always wanted, because you're already halfway there. Thank you.